first, ministers are under growing pressure to introduce an outright ban now on puberty blockers for trans kids over fears that private clinics can still dish them out despite the NHS prohibiting them on Tuesday. So this loophole means that children wanting to change gender can still access puberty-halting drug Lupron privately, because health chiefs saying there is no evidence that say they are safe. Campaigners warn kids and their parents could turn from the NHS to so-called Wild West online clinics instead. And indeed, trans activist India Willoughby encouraged exactly that last night. My advice to families of trans kids is to seek out private sources of puberty blockers, which are totally harmless and approved by countless legit health bodies. Been around 50 years. If safe for cis kids, they're safe for trans kids. But the statement was quickly slammed by the likes of J.K. Rowling. She fired back. Willoughby is propagating dangerous lies. Women who were put on Lupron to delay puberty have suffered long-term harm. In the US, Lupron is used to chemically castrate paedophile sex offenders. The drug is normally used to treat prostate cancer, but has a long list of horrible side effects for kids, including a permanent loss of bone density, damage to organs and lowered IQs. MPs are going to debate a private member's bill from Liz Truss tomorrow that proposes a full-scale ban on this at private clinics. I'm joined now by co-founder of LGB Alliance, Bev Jackson. Bev, thank you very much. Is Liz Truss right that we should ban these drugs?
Well, thanks for having me on. Well, certainly, I'm so pleased that finally the NHS has made this important landmark decision to ban these drugs, calling them unsafe and not effective. And it really has resonated globally. You can see this now being reported around the world. It's a landmark decision for the UK, for England, I should say, but it will resonate everywhere. And it's been a very, very long time coming. I mean, the first time that Sue Evans worked at the Tavistock and warned about this something like 20 years ago. And so many other people have been warning about it. David Bell, very, very eloquent. And of course, Stephanie Davis-Arai. Many, many people have been working towards this. But as you say, the problem now becomes the NHS has banned it. But for some reason, and it's not clear to me why exactly, many groups are just tossing the NHS aside and saying, oh, well, they're perfectly safe. Now, who do you want to believe? The gender identity activist India Willoughby, or would you rather believe the NHS? It's very, very peculiar that these groups are already saying, oh, well, we will go and get these drugs online. Why would they want to? I mean, I must believe that we all want children who are distressed to be treated well, to get the best possible care. So what could possibly be the motivation of people to want to go and take drugs which are not safe?
You, and this is from, it's not my words, obviously, it's the words of Susie Green, who previously headed up Mermaids, no doubt you know her well. Her son told her, aged 4, that he should have been born a girl, and apparently she's warned that trans kids are more at risk of suicide. What would your view on that be when it comes to them being able to at least access this stuff privately?
Well, I don't really know why the view of Susie Green, who took her son to have sex change treatment when he was very, very young, and who has no medical training at all, and yet was involved in drawing up guidelines, which some people quite wrongly call best practice. I don't think really that this is advice to be taken seriously. And as far as the suicide is concerned, I'm very, very relieved to see that the government's suicide prevention advisor has come out and said nobody should say that, partly because it isn't true and partly because it causes harm. It creates the problem it supposedly tries to prevent.